Type 1 is a little different. Type 1 are people born at birth with a totally dysfunctional pancreas, so they have type 1 diabetes, or now they contract it sometime in their life, and generally before they're 20 years old or 25 years old. With that said, the statistics we've seen over the decades, 52 years, are that out of 100% of the people with type 1 diabetes, 3 of them have the potentiality to eventually come off insulin. 4 of them will dramatically lower their insulin, and 3 of them you have very little effect with. Usually that 3 were born with it, but don't worry if you were born with it, because I've been called a liar before, seeing a number of people who were born with it that obviously had some kind of pancreatic function. So it re-engaged again, and they were able to reduce their insulin dramatically, and in a couple of cases come off it. Now, they're freak incidents. Usually people born with it have zero pancreatic function. So the pancreas, again, once you treat it right, just like any organ in the body, it's going to start to respond. It doesn't trust you now. I wouldn't trust you either after what you did and I used to do to myself. And so bottom line is you pet it long enough, it stops growling. And if you're lucky enough, it's still alive, and it starts to respond. Will it be perfect and work 100%? Never. Not if you got it that sick. But will it function well enough to make you healthy? The answer is yes.
Okay. Oh, now I understand why low blood sugar is related to high blood sugar, because, I didn't get that before. So thank you. Yeah, because I didn't even realize I had it, but when I came to the Institute, when I first realized I had low blood sugar issues, and I'd actually been on a raw food diet for 2 years, eating loads of fruit, just like you said. Because a lot of the people teach it, and I thought, well, that's fun. That means I can, as long as it's raw, I can eat whatever I want, and I was having a good time, especially here in Florida where the fruit's so good.
Yeah. Well, one of the nicest experiences in my life was when we convened the very first living food leadership meetings here at Hippocrates about 4 or 5 years ago. And again, we had 8 countries represented, and my colleagues like Gabriel Cousins and Victoris have been in these meetings, and the next one will be pretty soon in the spring. And all of us cumulatively from all parts of the world who have been doing this a long time, I think we had 200 and some years of experience in that room, or on the circle table that we actually built a circular table that we're sitting at. And we all came to that conclusion about not eating a lot of fruit or any fruit at all when you're battling a disease within 20 minutes. It was the first thing. And sadly out there, as I call them, the cheerleaders or the enthusiasts that write books, half-cocked, good people, good intention, nice, mean well, but half-cocked, are still heavily addicted to sugar and really hurt people by their addictive natures and what they write about, and as if they're authorities on it, and tell people to eat 25 pounds of bananas a day and all this crazy stuff. And carrot juice is good for, we learn things, and Hippocrates learned things. One of the things that a lot of our alumni are surprised with, because 80% of our guests return here, is that we will change something once we find that what we're doing isn't as good as it should be. And people say, well, gee, you used to say that. Well, used to means used to. And if we discover that we can improve things or go to the next place or raise your health or raise everyone's health by teaching the current truth, that's what it is, because there's always a current truth. The problem with humanity, not only with health, but with everything we do, is we keep looking backward, and that makes us bang into walls because we're not looking forward.